Well, welcome everyone and welcome back to the final game of the day here for the day one of the Australian Mixed Ultimate Championships. It's Pool B, it's Wollongong, it's Newcastle, and we're going to get the game underway straight away with a Pool High Wagon on offense, running left to right with the dark blue shirts, Krank in there, bright red. Prosser goes to McCartney. Oh, and there's a block early. Krank going to get the frisbee. Conway. The give go for Conway. And now Alex Gann. Noel. Running wide for Krank. They've worked it into the red zone, and there is a foul call.
Yeah, just on the push-off, I think. His opponent there not happy with the contact.
Simcox will get this back. First point. First opportunity. Gann gets the reset. Gann decides not to go to Simcox, comes back instead to Noel. The give go with Gann. Two normally combining in Sunders colours. Now they're wearing Krank colours. Here's Osmond back to Gann. Gann going to go out in front. Osmond for the score. It's Lucian Noel in the end zone. Krank at the first time of asking. They get a turn and they convert for a 1-0 lead.
Very impressive. That was Noel with the block and then gets up for a goal after some very nice handler work early. So you can see Krank using a lot of small ball and handler movement just to continue keeping the defenders on their toes. Alex Gann, Osmond and Noel working together. So it's an interesting Krank team. A lot of Wollongong locals, but they've pulled in a couple of Sydney-siders as well to bolster their team. We call it I think talking to Callum Faulkner early, a bit of an exchange as we see here the Krank roster. You've got Osmond, or both the Osmond sisters here. Callum Faulkner, of course, John O'Keefe, a star act. He's a true blue Wollongong local. Spent some time in Melbourne during his Crocs campaign, now back home. He's pulled across a couple of others in Pigeon, in Noel and Gann. So Krank coming here to win Division 1 Mixed Ultimate Championships.
And well, with a pick up the calibre of Alex Gann and Pigeon as well, Angela Pigeon.
Always handy to have a couple of Crocs on your roster.
Is a very, very handy pickup. So, pulled by Lavis. So, Matt Lavis is a cousin of Chris Lavis. They are related.
It was like the Lavis family are all over Ultimate in Australia.
Certainly well known in Newcastle and well known in Wollongong as well. Adams out in front. Brando. Garthy. Prosser. Again, Prosser matchup will be a good one. McCarthy focusing downfield. It's back to Jack Humphries. Lavis out in front. And now Lavis goes with the forehand. Prosser has gotten off the chain. Prosser is going to take it away for the score.
Prosser absolutely getting to work. I thought he had no chance at all with two Krank defenders in this space, but just wheels and it goes. Somehow gets his shoulder in front. Very impressive point by Prosser.
Yeah, Luke Prosser, he's been around forever, but he's still a relatively young man, only in his mid-20s. He's starting to hit that real prime of his career. Generally speaking, Ultimate Frisbee players, they hit the heights of their powers around 28, 29, where you've got that mixture of youthful exuberance.
And very interesting, he actually uses his right hand to twist and almost use his body to shield the disc away from Ema Spears, the defender. You can see a great angle here. Mostly people would, I think, maybe go with the left hand to catch, but he realizes that the disc is coming in with that outside in angle. So if he actually uses his right hand to kind of move his hand with the rotation of the disc, that's going to be a safer catch. So very good technical application of knowledge there as well.
One of the lesser known things about Ultimate Frisbee players is they actually know which way the disc is spinning. And I know that everyone at home is probably thinking about that going, no way, but they do. And here's Keys. Keys has just seen Pigeon going. Pigeon is going to have to secure that one and does. Keys to Pigeon. At a high level, they make it look so easy, but so much had to go right there. The throw, it had to be right. It was. The cut, it had to cover off on a dying disc. It did. 2-1 on Krank.
Yeah, as we said, John and Keys, absolutely star of the Crocs and of Wollongong. This is the same third throw, so you see that disc. I mean, Angela Pigeon did really well to start on the other side to give Keys a very wide open channel, but that's not an easy shot at all. You can see he fakes the flick, makes the defender bite, opens up that space and forces the issue, puts just enough float for Pigeon to get her hands under it and catches it with a roll and a flourish. So Keys and Pigeon making the mark early.
Going back to my comment about Ultimate Frisbee players knowing which way the disc is spinning. That's part of catching, actually. Know which way it spins to know that how you need to catch it so it doesn't spin out of your hands. Well evidenced there by Angela Pigeon. And that is a humongous pull by Osmond. Driven that all the way to the end zone line. McCarthy, the second throw out in front of Friendo. So again, going to pick it up and go fast. Osmond was an important part of the last point. We saw down the other end. Her give-go movement opening things up for Krank. Gann running with the Frisbee. They're on the doorstep. Gann's just doing Alex Gann things. They score. And that's a break.
So Krank up early with 2 breaks. Branda Lamb to Alex Gann. Couple of Sydney siders now combining. So Wollongong with a much larger roster than Newcastle. Of course, both of these are New South Wales regional teams. Always good to see some of these, I guess, smaller communities here on the big stage. Daniel, well represented here by many star players. Both teams actually coming into this game with 1 win this morning. Make sure you check out all of the action. Look at the past streams. We had a really exciting game with Newcastle versus Umami Newcastle getting up on Universe Point. And Wollongong Krank having a slightly easier run to this game. They got over Brisbaneites 15-4. So certainly saving their legs for the live stream this afternoon.
Wagon, of course, had that Universe Point game earlier. Perhaps a different story for them who've already played 29 points, which is, of course, the maximum that you could play for those playing the home game. And here's Osman again with another great pull, this time upwind and still punching it deep, almost, or past the brick mark, in fact. Carthy looking for Prosser for the reset. Very, very tight window to throw into. Prosser goes with an earlier reset. Trying to get some momentum for Wagon. Carthy driving up the line. Strong hands. Oh, and then throws it straight in to the waiting arms of Lucian Null, who went up early.
I think he caught the D with the face.
Swinging past to open up some space.
Plenty of space. Mandy Lee milked it for all the meters it was worth.
Andy Lee, of course, of Longmana fame, running the one of the best tournaments in Australia, right up there with the Newcastle Gold Cup. Excellent pastries. Here's Lee. He's going to look for Noel. Davis is free going up the line. Shielded by players in the lane, so they go back through Callum Conway. Caught by Spears. Just looking immediately to reset the frisbee for Wollongong. Another cut to the open side this time. It's Simcox. Back to Lee. Noel. He's going to feed it inside out and then pressing it into the end zone. Manny Lee gets in it. Assist, a very nice assist, in fact. Lauren Simcox with the score. Krank are rolling with momentum, 4-1.
Very nice work here. Just attacking the open side, getting free seemingly with ease. And Lee just works this break side to spread it out. This was a beautiful inside-out backhand shot to Lee. He immediately continues up to Simcox. The Krank team just getting the job done with ease at the moment. Interestingly, Krank, they're seeded third in their pool, and Newcastle Wagon seeded first in their pool. So I'm not sure, perhaps the qualification tournament didn't go the way they expected, but looking at the rosters, I'd be tipping Krank to make it deep run into the medal matches.
I think there's no surprises on field at the moment. I think Wagon, talking with some of the players earlier, they felt that they would have their work cut out for them against this Krank team. And a sign of the times, perhaps, is this long history between Wollongong and Newcastle as ultimate frisbee playing communities. Or Mickael. Oh, he touched that. It's going to roll out the back, and they're going to have to play from the back here. Overall, this is not great.
This is Callahan country and not what Wagon needed whatsoever. Very dangerous pull. We were talking about that on the earlier stream, using that vertical angle to roll it.
The stack is too deep at the moment. They haven't adjusted to the fact this is in from the back, and now Mickael is largely on an island. Bolton finally gets free. Sarah Sanders trying to get it back to Mickael. The handlers are doing a great job. They've got it all the way out of the end zone. But there are also 4 passes into their offense already. Intense defense around the mark. Holding that frisbee up, making the receivers cut multiple times. Hurt, all kinds of free. The reset is on. It goes over the top. The stall count is called.
Ooh, we can see Krank sniffing and sniffing hard for the Callahan. I have to say the handlers did very well to get it out, but it's still very much a dangerous zone here. You can see that pressure, just very tight match.
Yeah, well, it works out, and now Sanders is spotted. Winchester free. Gann arrives, can't get to the block. So Winchester is going to pivot and then into contact. And a wise choice there. Thomas Webster pulling out of the bid, as it was Renneker who had position, and that's a much needed score for the Newcastle Wagon. Excellent spirit by Webster.
So this one is a backhand rip, identifies the receiver. Winchester in the zone. Gann just not able to close fast enough, and the steady attack here. Like you say, very safe play for Webster to pull out of that, recognizing that he did not have position. But very good concentration here from Winchester. Can be quite difficult when you see some movement flashing before your eyes. But the Queensland local, then Zoe Renneker, gets the job done.
Coming back to the history between these two teams, we'll get to that in a moment. Here's the team list. As I mentioned, a youthful Wagon, one of the youngest Wagon teams in what feels like ever. 2 captains, Britt McCarthy and Luke Prosser, they'll be important. along with all of these players. They'll all need to contribute here because a short roster means that you all carry more load and it's more asked of you.
So Wagon opting for a high pull with float, allowing the defenders to get in position, but Krank already off to the races.
Smooth by Keys. High tempo and through hands. Krank already over halfway. Oh, and there's just too much too fast. Maehr Osmond. Looking for Angela Pigeon. Bolton will pick this up for Wagon, and he's going to look for Winchester. Winchester had come under. And Huck can play defense. It's generally a strategy. You see it's league rather than mixed nats. More miscommunication between Bolton and Winchester. Bit of a foul on the mark as Kerr clashing. Kerr, ex-president of the Newcastle Uni Flying Disc Club. Oh, Faulkner sees something that he likes, but he's put it up in the air and a pack forms. Over everyone goes Osmond, skying the lot, and then doing the wise thing, resetting to Faulkner, and then in the corner of the end zone, Krank score. Kobe Ryan to cap it.
What a way for Maehr Osmond to get that disc back after having thrown it away on their first offensive attempt. She goes up, hospital pass and a half, just reads it best from the pack, pulls it down, conserves greatness, an easy pass in the end off to Keys, and then a chain of events on the break side. You can see she just outreads everyone else there. Really like the confidence here by Osmond, not letting that earlier throwaway get her down. Instead, she goes up high, out reaches everyone else. As we said, John and Keys with forward momentum. Sorry, Callum Faulkner with forward momentum there. Hits his mate and Kobe Ryan. So Krank giving up the disc once, but not having to be asked twice. Move up 5-2.
Against tough opponents, this is your chance to stick with the things that you want to establish. This will be golden in the development of this Wagon team. Take some good lessons here. Lavis decides not to throw the long one. The breeze that has been building over the course of the day is continuing to be a bit blustery. Frendo decides not to go up the line. Back to Lavis. Crosser. Receivers streaming deep, free, and then Amir Spears coming underneath. Gets an angle on the Frisbee to get the block.
Yeah, just running out of room there for McCarthy. Prosser just nudged that disc a little bit too wide despite best efforts, so allows Krank another opportunity here.
No. Centralizes the disc. Generally a good approach. Oh, big bid by Pross. Can't get there. And that one is off the hands of Erin Healy. So Lavis brings it in. McCarthy straight away to Luke Prosser. Here's Prosser again. After the resetting pass off Renica. And Prosser, he's going to see what Frendo can do. Frendo has been shielded out of the play, actually. Results in a turnover. Osmond steps up into it, seeing Noel go. Noel has a step. Prosser with a massive bid. The lefty backhand to score for Krank. And Krank have 6 on the board now.
Running away with it, Lucien Knoll spears one to Ema Spears there in the end zone. That was very nicely done. Well controlled in this downwind direction. See Osmond here. She rips it, but just puts enough touch to float it and give time for Knoll to run onto it. And Ema Spears just gut running hard to support in the end zone. Finds herself completely unmarked. But Thea Osmond, look at that shot.
That's the difference, right? That's the difference between the middle of the road teams and the top tier teams. It's how well do you use all of your weapons? Can you get all of your weapons involved in the game? Right now, Krank are showing that they have weapons for days. Going to create a big problem for some of these teams in the other side of the draw. We saw before a great team performance by Southern Skies. Getting the same kind of vibe actually from Krank. There's a lot of athletes contributing right now. So Osman, after having put up a very nice huck to uncork the score, goes with the pull now. And Lavis works from the middle of the field through Humphreys. Humphreys is stuck a little bit. Prosser gets things moving. Lavis. There's a switch somewhere as Gann trying to mark 2 people. Sarah Sanders in some space. McCarthy gets to it. Balassa. Sanders goes out. Mandy Lee on defense. Great coverage. Prosser now is going to break back to Sanders on the second time, or rather the third cut. It took her 3 to get any kind of separation. Rewarded with a score. Some hard cutting from the ones they call bubbles.
Very nice work by Wagon to stick fat here despite some error-ridden offensive chains. This time they do well with a nice clean hold. I have to say the Krank pressure really amping up as well. The benefits of having that larger roster means you can bring on pretty much a fresh defensive line, putting the pressure immediately back on your opponents.
And that will be the expectation of the teams that eventually go on to medal here at Mixed Nats. It's going to be a lot of run, a lot of athleticism, a lot of tired legs at the end of the tournament. Wagon now to pull. Mike McKee with the disc in hand. He's been taking a lot of pulling duties for the various Newcastle teams in recent time. Mike McKee pulls for I-beam and now pulling for Wagon. Oh, that one's going to get played in. And
it's a brave catch.
Jaden Ferguson trusting the gloves. Now here's Ryan. Ryan is just going to send it all the way down the field. That's Osmond. And now Osmond just flips it in for the easy score. Thomas Webster to cap the move.
Both Osmond sisters getting plenty of hands on disc. Maehr there with a beautiful run deep. She nudged her opponent under the flight, so had acres of space there to run onto it. And beautifully done by Krank here. Just see if we can capture that. So they move it to the far side and then a big beast. So you can see Osmond here on the right of screen. She kind of nudges her opponent under the flight just to give her the extra little bit of space. So very well prepared there to receive that disc and then a quick flip to score. So Krank making it look very easy, particularly in their long game at the moment, but showing they can get it done both small ball and long. So Wagon with a tough assignment to try to deter both threats.
What an epic skate park here at Bill Norris Oval. The Bentley Multi-Sports Association, the kind hosts for the weekend here for Mixed Nats. And the City of Logan, a big thank you to them as well. They welcome us to paradise here in Queensland. Alex Gann pulling just that will stay in bounds. Lavis ecstatic out of the stack down the field. Frendo had come to the near side, but the force was the other way. And now Lavis looking for Balassa. Balassa at full stretch. Brings it in. She's on the edge of the end zone. She's going to be forced to go back. Prosser. Now Frendo drives to the corner and then through the hands of Adam Frendo.
Very uncharacteristic. Thought that was in the bank.
And now Prosser is going to have to go back the other way, as that's a bit of a speculative throw, as Noel, neither Prosser nor Noel read it particularly well, and Pross had the wherewithal to reach out and swat it away. A massive bid by Matt Lavis. Chris Lavis has it, gets it to Adam Frendo. It just gets tapped in. Frendo just going fast to Danny Adams. And Dr. Adams recently finished her PhD. Was in the end zone scoring.
So it feels like Wagon have tidied up their offense a lot better in the latter stages of this half. Initially it was a bit messy. They threw a couple of turnovers, but some clean holds now, the last few points, finding some separation. This is beautifully done by Balassa, similarly to what Maya Osmond done in the previous point. Just, oh, and you see just that the hands just twisted over, in and out.
So common mistake with rookie players trying to catch in through the top of the hands or from the thumb side rather than trying to catch from the pinky side. He needed to reverse his hands there and actually let the disc come in and then use his thumbs to catch, rather than trying to go the other way where you're trying to use your pinkies to catch and then you end up in that weird spot where, well, we call it the spanner. Just kind of rolls out of the hands. And
this was a nice throw. I like that kind of high release to float it in that downwind direction. So it made it kind of like a softer shot to float into Adam's arms.
Sanders pulling. Then it's around the brick mark. And so Mandy Lee for Krank. Faulkner. Pigeon. It's back to Faulkner. Now Ryan. Faulkner. Krank right on the edge of the edge end zone, deep in the red zone. Tupper goes back to Faulkner. Lee had a big old piece of it, and then it wriggled free on her. Critical for Wagon to get a hold here.
They haven't had many opportunities to break, and this one is a break chance, Daniel.
Critical that they do so. Just reel it in a little bit. Sanders. McKee. Back to Sanders. Winchester's gone. And with plenty of space, Ryan. Oh, and now he's stacked it in the mud. As Ryan. I'm sorry, that sent me.
And a big shot goes by Maya Osmond all the way. The flying pigeon does the job. And Krank giving up the possession once, getting it back and making it look very easy.
I swear I'm a professional. Kobe Ryan has just done the stun mullet. He's gone up, no hands. Realising, and actually, like, all things considered, I'm sorry. Oh dear. He done the right thing in drawing the receiver in close. The receiver's misread it and it's gone over it, but sorry, to go up and not use your arms is just, it's completely sent me. And half time is well timed in that I can go away and compose myself and stop giggling. And Krank 8-4 in this one. They're looking the goods. Very few opportunities for Wagon to get any kind of break. And the opportunities that have come Krank's way, they've converted with great aplomb. So, halfway through the last game of the day, we'll be back shortly with the conclusion of this pool play matchup between Krank of Wollongong and Wagon of Newcastle. So Wollongong Krank, they're in their huddle, and just a last few instructions from Captain Kobe Ryan. Coming back for this second half, I think in terms of things learnt, this Wollongong Krank team very, very good at ultimate. And I think for Wagon, they didn't do terribly much wrong. There wasn't really a great deal of things that I think you would take and be really upset about. It was mostly just, I think, offensive errors.
Yeah, a couple of throws which didn't really calibrate to the wind conditions. Ended up in turnovers, and Krank being very stingy with the disc, not often giving it back. Their O-line, they've converted 4 out of 4 of their offensive points, so perfect score there for the first half. And on their D-line, they've scored 4 out of 5, so not doing a whole lot wrong and not really giving any room for Wagon to try to wriggle their way through.
Indeed, so that leads us back to here, where Krank took half 8-4, and now will come out on offense in the second half, such as being how this works out. Sanders to pull for Wagon. Natural shape of the disc should land this in bounds.
It's a nice pull, lots of float there.
So Faulkner coming across to Mandy Lee. Now Ryan. Ryan just going with a massive hammer. Sanders can't get to it, and Osman just into the hands of Pigeon. And actually on that catch, Pigeon demonstrating what I was speaking about earlier, actually with catching technique. Allowing the disc to come in from the bottom of the hands rather than trying to catch over and through the top.
Maehr Osmond assist to Angela Pigeon. That's the second time that combination has scored. That was incredibly well read by Maehr Osmond. That hammer up top was dropping very fast. But as you said, she just outread both of the Wagon defenders there. And the catching technique also very nice to see. Wollongong often being a windy city, so the players have being very experienced dealing with some blustery conditions.
You can see here, in through the back of the hands. The disc, as it comes into the hands, use the thumbs to stop and slow it. So that textbook stuff by Angela Pigeon, one of the best players in the country. Superb fundamentals. So here is Alex Gann to pull. Earlier today we've seen lots of pulls with edge. Now we're seeing lots of pulls with float. Prosser gets Wagon working. McCarthy. Here's Humphreys. Ooh, throws the inside angle. Past Lucas Love, who was playing some good defense, but he was watching Prosser. He wasn't aware the disc was in the air. Oh dear, that's out in front. Wagon give it up. So Gann, as Gann does, off to the races. Now Conway back to Alex Gann. Now Osmond. Things are not completely clear down the field, so Osmond just the give go now. Aaron Healy. Alex Gann. Dominated movement by Healy, doesn't come off. Matt Lavis. Gann. Now Osmond. Osmond's going to rip one through the middle. And that's a goal. Osmond with another assist. And the 10th point for Wollongong Krank.
When the Krank D-line get their hands on the disc, they just never look like they're going to give it up. The fast-moving pace of Gan with Osmond proving a lot of trouble for Wagon. As you said, not making a lot of errors, Wagon, but Krank just punishing every opportunity they get. As you see here on the replay, this movement here just moves across to the break side, and that around break continuation, so difficult to stop. But Kobe Ryan, not sure what happened, a breakdown in that person coverage. Kobe Ryan cannot leave that man any space in the end zone and punish you on the scoreboard. I have to say, when I was looking at the offensive set by Wagons just now, they had opted for a horizontal set, but their cutters were way too far downfield, which means they only really had the underspace to work with. They didn't leave enough room out the back. And that ended up only limiting the attacking space options for the handlers and resulted in a turnover. So again, the positioning just needs a little bit of adjustment here for the Wagon team so they can convert a little more easily. Once they give up possession, they're just not able to get it back at all. And I'm not sure if that one landed in or out.
Hard to see from here. I think it landed in.
They're setting up the defense as if it's coming from the front of the end zone. So,
and Wollongong going to bring some sort of defensive wrinkle. They've set up in a zone. Wagon transition as well. Prosser. Danny Adams. Lavis back to Prosser. Humphreys. Prosser through the middle. Push pass that's a little bit dirty, but it works. And now the throw that breaks past the containment. The transition is on for Wollongong as the calls come in from the sideline to go to a match defense. And now that throw, it's going to sit up. It helped Frendo, and then it hindered him. The wind, it lifted it up over Lavis, and then it affected the flight enough that he couldn't get his hands around it to bring it under control.
Some great vision from the gimbal camera here. You can see the wind just lifting the disc up and then pushing it down. So paying no favors there to Frendo.
No. Give go. Webster. Ryan. And now in the end zone. Too far. Brandon Lamb, the target. It was pushed. It was wind affected. Didn't sit the way I think Ryan was hoping it would sit for the streaming Brandon Lamb.
So Wagon, they have to work it all the way upfield in a blustery upwind direction. Prosser, a real key to this one, but interestingly, Krank have opted to go for a match defense rather than set the zone.
Right now, the defense gets to play downhill and know that any throws upfield are tough, and well, that's just evidence. Turnover on the first throw, it comes back, and now Lavis. Lamb. Wollongong through Tupper. Now Tupper going to break it. Ryan with an ungainly leap, keeping his feet behind the line to claim the score. Krank are running away with this one at the moment, Avril.
Yeah, Kobe Ryan receiving that break shot, almost breaking his ankles to keep that one on the right side of the line. A little bit of a flourish and a little heel movement there, showing his flexibility. And Krank just proving too good here. Their defense just stifling at the moment. Wagon unable to make any inroads in this upwind direction. Krank just smooth as butter. They've got the long game, they've got the short game, everything in between. Do wonder, from a defensive perspective from Wagon, might be time to try a few different things, perhaps another zone or force middle, which did work well against Umami on the earlier stream.
I think at this stage, though, that their struggles are very much on offense. And they're looking for answers and ways to which to move the disc. At the moment, Krank are getting plenty of turns and opportunities on short fieldage. Sanders. Winchester. Another zone look for Krank. Chris Kerr has gotten free. Mike McKee. Renica. This is better in the downwind direction for Wagon. Mike McKee in the end zone. They've scored a much, much needed one. Bringing that to 10-5 now.
Yeah, the offense finally just controlling the pace a little bit. Happy to hold the disc in hand a little longer and isolating the cuts better. That's what enabled those multiple completed passes. And certainly feeling a little easier perhaps in the downwind direction as well. Just understanding how to use the wind rather than fight against it. Renica here, as you see, nice and patient, just waits, engages the dump, and McKee obliges with that upline cut. So difficult to stop that pocket as a defender. Beautiful vision from the roving camera here. Very nicely done in the sun and coming out to say hello this afternoon.
In what was a very cloudy morning and a bit of a rainy day, it's turned into a glorious one here in Beenleigh, Logan City. Lovely Queensland, Australia. Sanders to pull, upwind. It's tough going in this direction. The wind is against you. That's a great job again. Krank.
So looks like Wagons have opted for a switching defense, but punished there by Mandy Lee through to Pigeon, forcing it in the middle. They take the middle way too easily for Wagons' liking.
It's like a training drill for Krank as they found all the space, and Wagon ended up being very poorly positioned to really do anything about it because there's a string of passes, Faulkner starting it off, Lee, and then Lee's throw to the open side of the field, just leading Angela Pigeon. Clearly, something was planned there for Wagon, but did not come off at all.
Oh, beautiful vision here of Pigeon receiving. You can see some defensive pressure, knowing that that was a space on offer, but just not fast enough to come back, just get in the way. So disappointing one for Wagon. I like the fact that they gave some different looks. But as you said, the offensive points, they really have to hold these ones. And you want to make a respectable scoreline here, take a little bit of momentum into day two as well.
It's time, Alex Gann.
It's a good pull upwind. Wavers have to wait underneath the disc.
And the wind just holding it up. Making it an agonizing wait for Lavis until it's at a catchable height. Now McCarthy looking for Lavis. Now just throws past Jack Humphreys, who started to move to get a reset. Gann's going to go fast. Gann, a low one. It's well handled in the end. Krank have scored again. One pass, one score. That one's an upwinder, and that hurts for Wagon as they look around for answers. It's hard to know. You're losing. You're down big in a game. If you're coaching Wagon, what do you adjust your focus to?
Keep possession, I think. perhaps working up from the backfield, maybe some forward momentum from the handler space and striking, and then the connection with the downfield. We've commented a couple of times that the cutters are just way too far away to threaten both under and deep. So I think a combination potentially of using that handler forward momentum and focusing on the continuation cuts, but making sure you set up in the position for those continuation cuts.
I think the wind has probably affected Wagon the most, as it seems to have taken away a really big part of their game in the deep shot. So Krank, knowing this, seem to be playing to the conditions better at least, in that defensively they're using that to their advantage.
Yeah, and this is probably Wagon's more uncomfortable direction to attack. I mean, that's a good pull as well to try and pin them back, but you can see they're much more nervy when going upwind, not as confident in their small ball or ability to run through. This one just pops too high. The execution on the catch, but somehow off the toes.
And Balassa coming back for it as Humphreys will now get that reset that was needed. Wagon needing some width, and now they need flow down the field.
They are so far away here.
So Sanders bails them out again. Now into Frendo. He's been enthusiastic. And a drop as Humphreys, it goes through his hands.
3 bites of the cherry, but Wagon give up the disc. Krank looking for a quick break.
Here's Osmond. Likes the look of Webster going. That's another goal. And Krank, again, highly efficient. This time it's 2 passes. Theo Osmond, a hot hand at the moment. 15-5.
That
Only
was
52 minutes played.
This was actually a very difficult pass by Osmond. You see this nice setup from Keys, moves it up, and Osmond here, this is a very small channel. She's basically throwing the disc in a straight line, had to get it to come in enough for Webster to catch it, but he catches it in stride. So the degree of difficulty in that backhand huck by Osmond, incredible, and just riding high on the confidence, knowing she's got the disc skills there. In contrast, Wagon just not looking comfortable at all with executing some of those options and getting a bit nervy and apprehensive on the passes.
I think we're seeing a little bit of the Alex Gann effect. And the Gann hasn't taken over here. So some locals over on the skate park.
I can't believe that was only Thea Osmond's first assist of the game. It feels like she's been in so much of the action. She gets a stat on the scoreboard for efforts.
Now she's going to back it up with a pull. Keeping this one lower. Trying to drive the disc into the wind. Sanders catches on the full. And then goes to Josh Bolton. Here's Mike McKee. Winchester draws 2 with the cut. Bolton gets up the line to create some space for Sanders coming back. Now McKee is going to need a reset here shortly. Finds Renica. Gann getting in front. Gann gets the block. Gann brings it in quickly. He's really playing with tempo. Well, that's a flat one, and that'll work. They've done it. Krank are done here. They're going to take an early afternoon, 15-5 in the end, less than an hour played. That's a comprehensive victory for the team from Wollongong. Well, notionally from Wollongong, with some imports and some trades and some free agent activity. What a game for them. I think that's really surprising. Actually, I think that we knew they were a strong team. However, their performance here was outstanding.
Yeah, they have some unfinished business. They were in the gold medal match last year, coming second, only grabbing some silverware for half minute, but they are coming for the gold with an emphatic win today. They had some dominating games, 15-4 against Brisbaneites and then 15-5 here against Newcastle Wagon. So they are looking supreme in Pool B As we said, all over Red Rover for the team in red for day 2. 2-zip, riding high in confidence going to day 2 of competition.
I think not all bad for Wagon, who I'll head into day 2 with some confidence. I think they certainly hung with the team earlier in the day, and now bit of a harsh lesson, I think, Krank, but I'll be okay. So we'll wrap it up there. I think all in all, a great first day here from the Australian Mixed Ultimate Championships, or Division 1. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning for day 2, so make sure you tune into the Ulti TV YouTube channel then at 9 a.m. at local time. So 9 a.m. here, different times everywhere else because, well, Queensland doesn't do daylight savings. So I thank you all for joining us on behalf of Avril Tam. I'm Daniel Clinton, and we'll see you again later.
Ulti.tv